necessary in their lives, which will allow them. Minor adjustments are dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere but backwards. The words in that mission statement, it says to obtain, and the other one is maintain. Listen to me. To obtain means to come into the possession of something. Maintain means to keep it in existence. Listen. The reason why I say that, everybody say to obtain my sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. Say to obtain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it.
To attain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. Welcome everybody to the Minor Adjustments Virtual Group. My name is Michael Mickey Williams Jr. No matter how many times I hear my own self saying to attain my sobriety is easy, my challenge is to maintain it. I love hearing myself utter those words because I know how powerful they are. I also love anywhere but backwards. So good evening to everybody who's tuning in to the Minor Adjustments Virtual Group. Again, our motto, I'm going to put it on the screen. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. I love teaching about the Minor Adjustments program is because one of the things I love about it is because not only am I telling individuals about not going back, but I'm also a living demonstration of how your life can be transformed if you keep focusing on going forward versus constantly going back. Again, thank everybody. I know we have a lot of different individuals tuned in from all different areas. We just did a great minor adjustment program at the great Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania Salvation Army. I'm so excited about what God is going to do in those individuals' lives. I'm looking forward to all the individuals who want to be minor adjustments facilitators. We're going to get the list of people who want to become minor adjustments facilitators. We're going to start training individual facilitators the first Thursday of the new year. So that gives us time to make sure we get all the curriculum to you guys or whoever would like to be a part of it. Today, this is the book, the Minor Adjustments Facilitators book. This is the book that we have to get into your hands, and prayerfully, even if you're leaving the program, we have a link that I can give to you where you can do the Minor Adjustments Facilitators guide virtually online and still become a minor adjustments facilitator, and we can establish the minor adjustment program in the area wherever you may be going to if you're not staying in the area where we just was. Again, today I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm going to put the link to any type of books that individuals might want to try to look at that I have. I'll put the link of those books inside the comment section so individuals can have it if they would like to obtain some of my books. Also, I'm going to put the link to my website because we do so many different things that I want to make it available to everyone. And I also want to stay connected to everybody. Amen. So let's see. All right. So today we're going to go over what the program is about. We just previously this weekend, we went through a few different chapters of the program. However, we couldn't really get to everyone due to the lack of time that we have at the facility. So we want to connect to all different aspects of the book. So one of the aspects of the book we're going to go over today is going to be awesome. But let's go to my favorite part of the book. Minor Adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary for their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. And of course, to obtain means to come into the possession of something. To maintain means to keep it in existence. So when you come into the possession of something, that means you already have it. Why is that important? For 22 years of my life, I struggled with crack cocaine and heroin. For the last 15 years, I have been free from that lifestyle. But that was August 2009 when I came into the possession of my sobriety. I did not have to go get my sobriety again in August 2010. I simply needed to learn what I needed to learn to maintain that sobriety. So when you see in the mission statement, obtain and maintain, you have to get this part because it's very important. If you spend too much time constantly going and get your sobriety when you already have it, you don't need to do all that. You have your sobriety. It's over. It's not. It's a done deal. And like I mentioned when I was in with you guys this weekend, prayerfully you read this part right here. I mentioned the short story. This is another section in the book in the beginning of the Minor Adjustments Workbook. You read that. This was a newspaper article that they did for me years ago. I can't remember what year it was, but this is a newspaper article of a graduation ceremony like the one you just previously had, and it was at a halfway house close to a Southwood State Prison. It was at a halfway house where we did a minor adjustment program with the inmates. So read that article as well. Let's see. Now, so today we're going to talk about what is the program about. I wasn't able to really dive into this weekend, but I want to really give you something from here. There's a lot of principles, a lot of relapse prevention skills, a lot of things that I can give you and glean from this particular part. So remember, I'm talking to all of y'all, but mainly my facilitators. Remember, every group that you're going to teach, you should have an expectation. My expectation is individuals will grab hold of the concept of learning by repetition. Let me say that again. Individuals will grab hold. This is my expectation, that you will grab hold of the concept of learning by repetition. Okay. What is the program about? When Mr. Williams first wrote his first book, Pushed Out the Crack House into God's House, little did he realize that it would be used for other things. Pushed Out the Crack House was his life message that he had shared everywhere he was asked to speak. This workbook is put together with much prayer and heart searching. The purpose of this workbook, pay attention, is to teach you how to allow your past to push you into your destiny. I gotta pull over, pause, and park right here for a moment. See, you want to try to use your past. Remember, I mentioned this. We all have a past, but the only thing that's different about another man or another woman who we have to who block individuals out, right? If you're going to allow your past to hold you, or you can allow your past to push you, right? Watch this. Let me show you something. Let me read it again. The purpose of this workbook is to teach you how to allow your past to push you into your destiny. That simply means that there's something your past can do, but the outcome of your past is determined by you. You can use it to cripple you, for lack of a better word, hold you, or keep you stuck, or you can use it to push you. I chose to use what I've been through to push me into something better, which, watch this, listen to me. My past was 22 years of drugs and alcohol. My last 15 years, I've been free from it. Now I'm a national certified peer recovery specialist and a certified alcohol and drug counselor. Watch this. I would not have been able to walk into that destiny without first the grace of God, and second, realizing, watch this, realizing that my past is not all that it is to me. So I gotta get this. Let me read it one more time. Remember, I'm going over it, but you notice I'm repeating stuff. I hope somebody remember the expectation. Oh, it's on the screen. My bad. But listen, grab hold of the concept of learning by repetition. So when you keep hearing me repeat anywhere but backwards, it's because I learn by repetition, and most of us learn by repetition, right? So listen, the purpose of this workbook is to teach you how to allow your past to push you into your destiny. The term crack house represents a broken place or a broken person. The term God's house represents something greater. God's aim is to try to take the brokenness that you have inside and use it to push you into something greater. This is why that God gave my wife and I the mandate of everywhere we do minor adjustments program, we should get minor adjustments facilitators out of that program, and we need to help push them into something greater. So everywhere we do a group, we should get at least 3 to 5 individuals who have the heart to not go back. 2, they also have the passion to want to help another man or another woman. And 3, they just want to be used and have a purpose, and they don't want to just exist. So we looking for individuals who we can push into something greater. Now listen to me. I can't word for word tell you exactly what your greater will be, but I can guarantee this: if you don't go back, it will be greater than where you came from. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, it will be way greater than where you came from. Let's move on. Now watch this strategy here. It says, Mr. Williams, did I tell y'all I'm on page 15? Because if you have the book, you can turn to page 15 and follow along. Mr. Williams' qualifications are, notice, my past. Didn't I tell you? Everybody has a past, but we're trying to learn how to use your past to push you into your destiny. So 22 years inside prisons, county jails, halfway houses, rehabs, substance use disorder or addiction from the age 16 to the age of 38. Watch this. Look at the highlighted. Repeated failure after failure after failure. Watch this. So let me go back. I use my qualifications, or I use my past failures as a qualifier. I remember I was talking to this gentleman one day. He's I want to say a professor or some type of college professor. And I was talking to him one day, and he said, I was breezing through your book, Mr. Williams, and I noticed for one of your qualifiers, you use repeated failure after failure after failure as a qualifier. And he says, I never actually saw someone use their mistakes as a qualifier. I said, yeah, this is minor adjustment program. This program different from all other programs. Watch this. He said, I never saw anybody use their failures as a qualifier. And I said, the reason why I use my failures as repeated failures after failures after failures as a qualifier is because that's how I learned. I learned from my mistakes. So this is a good principle. Your mistakes have to become your mentor. When your mistakes become your mentors, come on, class, y'all. I taught y'all this. Y'all pass this. You'll pass this test. You'll know the answer to this. How can you tell if a person learned from their past failures? Y'all know the answer to that. The answer is they won't repeat it. So Your repeated failures. I know you probably sitting there right now and you might have a little headache knowing that you repeated failures after failures after failures. You might have failed at something repeatedly, but don't just throw your failures away. Your failures can become your mentors. Once your failures become your mentors, listen, you won't repeat it. So I use my repeated failures as a qualifier. Let me back the page up. On the bottom of page 15, it says, Mr. Williams' qualifications are. He said, you use your failures as a qualifier? Yes. Not only am I able to use my failures as a qualifier, you're also able to use your failures as a qualifier. So when you're doing the facilitating, or you're doing, even if you don't become a minor adjustment facilitator, you're able to use your life application as a demonstration to someone and let them know this won't work in your life. And they ask you, how you know? How much time you got? My repeated failures after failures taught me that those situations will not work. Let me read. Let me go over this, right? Watch this. Let me show you something. So, remember, let me go back. My expectation is I want individuals to grab hold of the concept of learning by repetition. Now, remember this. Watch this. I'm going to use this scenario in an addiction recovery format, and you're going to get some principles out of it. Watch this. When we were little and we were trying to learn how to ride a bike, we would usually get on the bike, we'd try to ride it, right? We fall off, we get some training wheels for a while, we start riding on the training wheels. Now we got the concept of pedaling the pedals, holding the steering wheel. Watch this. Then eventually the training wheels start to come off, right? When the training wheels come off, we start to ride, we start riding the bike. But we normally, everybody, the first time without the training wheels, we fall. Okay, I know you're going to sit there in line and say you ain't fall. But look, we fall, right? Watch this, stay with me. Now, when we fall on the bike, we don't stop trying to learn how to ride the bike. We get back on the bike, and we keep trying the person who's helping us learn how to ride a bike, holding the seat normally, and they'll let it go. And sooner or later, after repeated failure after failure after failure, we start riding off into the sunset. Watch this. But how did that kid learn how to ride the bike? He learned how to ride the bike from repeated failures. He kept falling. He said, man, I got to learn how to ride this bike. Eventually, he learned how to ride the bike from his repeated failures of falling. It was the falling that made him. Watch this. Watch this. Listen. It was him falling that said, man, I got to stop hitting, because he kept hitting that ground. So it was the falling that stopped us from, or that taught us how to learn how to ride the bike. Watch this. But one of the things that when you first learn how to ride a bike and you start riding and you like, yo, I got it. We normally actually crash. Oh, man. Watch this. And the reason why we crashed, we didn't fall no more. We learned, watch this word, we learned how to go in motion, but we learned how to stay balanced. But we never learned how to stop. So the first time we learned how to ride a bike, we got the part about going in motion and keeping our balance, but we never learned how to stop. So we ran into the wall. So watch this. You got to get this. And an addiction is the exact same thing. We keep doing all the things that we're doing in the recovery arena, but the thing that we actually need to learn is stopping. Good God almighty, man, I'm helping my own self. The part that we're missing is we keep going down the same path and we're learning by repetition. But the part about stopping, just like that kid on the bike. But once he learned how to stop, he was living his life, or he was riding the bike, he was riding it, he was moving, He was learned how to stay balanced. This is all life lessons. Watch this. You got to learn how to stay balanced, live a balanced life. At the same time, you got to live it in motion, but you also know that there's some things in your life that you have to stop. This is all predicated on riding the bike of recovery. You got to live a balanced life, learn how to live a balanced life, right? You don't want to exhaust yourself, and you don't want to be too focused on this and less focused on this. You got to live a balanced life. Think about the bike. Then you got to live it in motion. So you balance the bike, and at the same time you're riding it, you're going in motion. And you also cannot forget that you have to stop. If you miss the stopping part, right? Watch this. If you miss the stopping part, you will come back to the same rehabilitation centers, come back to prison, come back to whatever. That's because you forgot that you have to stop in the bike of recovery. Watch this. Let me show you something. This is another principle from riding the bike. Watch this, and I guarantee you can say something to this. Once you learn how to ride the bike, no one had to teach you how to ride a bike again. Once you learn how to ride that bike, no one, no matter how old you became, had to teach you how to ride a bike again. I said all that to say this. The Minor Adjustments Program is designed to teach you how to ride the bike of recovery. Once you learn how to ride the bike of recovery through the Minor Adjustments Program, watch this, you'll never need anyone to teach you how to ride a bike of recovery again. Woo-wee. Watch my expectation, y'all. My expectation is individuals will grab hold of the concept of learning by repetition. Let's move. The things you read it, I'm sorry. Present, this is present qualifications. I'm a graduate of America's Keswick Colony of Mercy 2010 class. I'm a minister at Glory Tabernacle Church. I'm a certified recovery support specialist, certified drug and alcohol counselor. The things you read in this workbook have been accumulated over the years of my incarceration and my addiction, not to mention the numerous life lessons that I've learned from others. I have to inform you right now, remember we read this, that we will be dealing with a lot of simplicity. This word is very important. We complicate the addiction field or the recovery process. We just need to keep it simple. Simplicity. Watch this. You cannot get any simpler than anywhere but backwards. Oh man. Our motto is anywhere but backwards, right? I believe you don't even need, you might can be able to spell those words in the 3rd or 4th grade. I don't know. I ain't been in that grade in a long time. But simplicity in this workbook, it says, I have to inform you right now that we will be dealing with a lot of simplicity in this workbook. Experts say that the average person is now bombarded with 35,000 messages a day, emails, text messages, billboards, televisions, radio, Twitter, Facebook, blogs, etc. Watch these words. Yes, you read that right. It's information overload. People don't need more information. Stay with me. They need to learn how to apply, come on class, the information they already have. People you don't need any more. I can't stress this enough. If you learn how to apply the information you already have, right? Watch this. I'm specifically talking about what you know about addiction and recovery. If you apply the information you have in your possession, in your own personal life about addiction and recovery, I guarantee you'll never go back to it. just off the information you know about what recovery is and what addiction does, right? If you apply the information, just the information you know, right? I'm not saying you go to school to get more information. I have went to school and got some more information. I have took trainings and got more information. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the information you know as of this date. Oh, okay. Along with the minor adjustments information you just received this weekend. If watch this, people don't need more information. No, they need to learn how to apply the information they already have. If you apply what you already have, your life will automatically start to transform and you will succeed and be successful just by the mere fact, watch these words, your repeated failures. You learn from your repeated failures became your mentors. So if you apply the information you have, watch this, without disrespecting or disregarding your failures, now you know this ain't work. So why would you do it if you already know it doesn't work? So if you apply the information you have, I gotta be honest with you. It became almost simple. It became like unrealistic. I can't believe some of the things that I have achieved by the grace of God simply by me applying the information that I already have. I'm not even talking about the new information that I have acquired by feeding my brain new information. Come on, man. I'm walking y'all through the book again. All right. The reason why we are doing what we are doing as counselors, teachers, facilitators, and or instructors is because we can use what we have been through to help stop someone from taking the wrong turn we may have taken early in life. Watch this. If we can reach one man, one woman, or one child, then we'll take that. And maybe that one individual will reach all the others that we couldn't reach. I got to pull over, pause, park right here for a moment. I read, if I can reach, if my wife and I can reach one individual, right? And that individual reach another individual. You see what I'm saying? It will constantly just keep going. The minor adjustments program is not about my wife and I. It's about making relationship with individuals, being an example and showing them what's possible with God, and getting them to get their hands to the plow. Now we want to watch this. Let me read it one more time. It says, watch this. If we can reach one man, if we can reach one woman, or we can reach one child, and then we'll take that. That's perfect. Why? Because maybe that one individual will reach all the other ones that we couldn't reach. So we're not from your neighborhood, right? So other than being in another spiritual realm, right? We're not in your neighborhood, but you're in your neighborhood. So we want you to go to your same neighborhood where you were once destroying it and help build this same community back up. Oh, man. It's like you become the mayor of your own town. You know why you become the mayor? It's because everybody's going to talk about, they already know you because they're going to be talking about the person that used to be this way. And now that person is living this way. You become the talk of the town. Oh man, I can't make this up. I'm telling you some true stuff. Let's go. What time is it? All right. The workbook, drop down here. The workbook is designed to inspire you, motivate you, and lead you to your true destination. Empower you spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Go inside programs, prisons, jails, halfway house, homeless centers. Help men, women obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle. Help men and women to make, come on, y'all, minor adjustments. To make minor adjustments. Watch this. Let's let me go up top. I'm gonna read from up top. I see some stuff I can give you here. The first thing that you will need to have for this process to begin is a willing mind. This is perfect. I was talking to a gentleman today. He called and he wanted to go into get some recovery support service. No, I'm sorry. He wanted to go into treatment for alcohol and crack addiction. So I talked to him. I did an assessment with him. I called a few programs, found him a bed, and he started being on the fence. He was like, I start talking like he didn't want to go. I said, listen, okay, no problem. Give me a call when you're ready to go. I need you to have a willing mind before I can stay here and try to convince you about the need of going into the facility. So he says, okay. About an hour goes by. He called me. He says, sir, I'm ready to go. Watch this. What was the difference from when I first got him on the phone versus 1 hour later? It wasn't me, the counselor. It was his willing mind. Listen, a willing mind, what do we mean by that? It's up to you to study each unit and make the necessary adjustments in his life that you need and put them into action. So he had to have a willing mind. Although I could get the bed for him, although I know he needed to go, he still had to come to the grips of having the willing mind to go. When he called me back an hour later, he says, I'm ready to go. I said, I still got the bed available for you. And I got transportation to pick you up. You ain't got to pay for nothing. Don't worry about insurance. We'll get you to the facility. But watch this. Mr. Williams started out drinking beer in the 6th grade and ended up smoking crack cocaine at 38 with other drugs in between, which is why he ended up on probation. Watch this. Rehab, parole, then the county jail, and then eventually the state prison. Normally, those are the steps a lot of us took. And that's what you call a process. Everybody say process. Watch this. So there's no need for me to teach you how to go through a process. A process because you mastered that. But to get you to your true destination, you must have a willing mind. If you follow the steps in the units, you will witness a transformational change of direction in your life. Each unit in this workbook represents one of those steps that will be a process that you have clearly mastered. Our focus is always, our focus is always you. And what we need you to focus on is how to allow your past to push you into your destiny. But remember, you must be willing to go anywhere but backwards. Anywhere but backwards. If we can get you to have a willing mind, we can push you into anything that's great for your life. In closing, I remember this story. It was about a kids in the schoolyard. It was a list going around in the schoolyard of all the people that the bully can beat. This bully made this list and put all these kids' names on it. And lunchtime, they was running around and everybody was all nervous. They was reading it because they saw their names on it. This one particular kid happens to get the list and he see his name on the list. So he went over to Big Bad Bob and he says, hey, Big Bad Bob. Big Bad Bob said, yeah, what's up? He said, I noticed you have a list going around of all the kids that you can whoop. He said, yeah, you see the list? He said, yeah, I saw the list, and that list has my name on it, Big Bad Bob. And he says, that's right. And he says, listen, Big Bad Bob, you can't whoop me. So Big Bad Bob said, oh, man, give me the list so I can take your name off of it. I said all that to say this. The addiction or the monster, what I call the disease of addiction, I call him the monster. The monster has your name on his list. And he only has your name on his list is because he believes he can whoop you. But this is the minor adjustments that you have to make. You have to tell that addiction monster to take your name off his list because it can't whoop you. As long as you don't go back, you automatically beat the bully. The big bad bully got your name on the list. But the only way the bully is going to take your name off the list if you can't go back anywhere but backwards. When you don't go back, he takes your name off his list. To God be the glory. I hope y'all got something out of this virtual class today. Everybody who would like to be a minor adjustment facilitator, please put your name on the list. Give Major the names, and we're going to connect with you, and we're going to work it out and get you set up so you can be doing the minor adjustments program somewhere in your community. Again, minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary for their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. To God be the glory. Have a beautiful evening and enjoy yourselves.